What's up guys, how's it going? So I'm currently sitting right next to the chickens. The heat lamp is off right now just so the camera doesn't pick up that hard to see ugly red hue because I want to show you how the chickens are doing. They've been here for a week now. It is Monday. We got them last Monday and they have grown up so much. They've started to get a lot of their feathers and their personalities are really blooming. So I'll take you through and I'll show you each of the chickens and what we decided to name them. So this one here, I think she looks like tiramisu, so we've named her Susie. This one here is Ruby. That is Skittles, Noodles. Sorry, Noodles and Skittles look a lot alike. That one is Skittles, that one's Noodles. Skittles is just a little bit darker. We've got Pepper here, and that one in the middle right there that's just drinking water, that's Karen, because she has an attitude unmatched. So I just plugged their heat lamp back in and you can see the difference of what the camera picks up. But Susie right here is super curious. Oh, there comes Karen jumping in. But Susie, every time I walk past, she looks up and, I don't know, she's just a very curious bird. Look at those gorgeous feather colors coming in. Alright, I'll put you down, I'll put you down. This is Karen. Her feathers, she's getting by far the most feathers, the quickest, and they look really beautiful. I think she's either an Easter egger or a green queen, I'm not quite sure, but she's growing super fast. She's one of the largest birds in here that we have. She's growing on me. And at least once a day, I come in and just put some of their food on my hand and let them peck at it because I want them to learn that my hand means food and it gives me a really good chance to socialize with them. And honestly, it's just so entertaining to watch them. They're just so fun and curious. Just when I thought we were out of the clear, it's snowing again, like big fluffy flakes. I just planted a whole bunch of seeds in here. Hopefully they're okay. Wanted to show you what's going on back here. Yesterday we planted that little twist cherry and we started working on a wattle fence. We have this big pile of sticks back here that we got from a tree company that was cutting things down to get them away from the power lines. And so we're making this weaved fence here to kind of enclose this area because this is where I'm going to be planting squash, and this is going to be our little fruit tree orchard. We have a peach tree over there that's going to get planted here. This amount of snow is kind of insane. Like, these are ginormous flakes. Like, you can see them on my head. The rhubarb is looking really great, except for the fact that it now has snow on it. Hopefully all of this lettuce does well. I have quite a few berry plants here. I've got Bristol black raspberry. I've got a King of the North blue grape. This guy is pink icing, bushel and berry. It's a container sized blueberry plant. Here we've got Anne, a gold raspberry. This is Bonus Blueberry. This is a full-size blueberry plant. This will get like 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. And this is another container blueberry. It's called Top Hat. It's already got a bunch of blueberries on it, which I hope they're okay in all this snow. And then this here is our peach tree, our first fruit tree on the property. And this is Belle of Georgia peach. And it's a dwarf variety, so it won't get too tall. And there's one flower that's looking all right. All the rest of them look like this. But I'm gonna hurry up now and get to the high tunnel because it's getting quite cold out here. And this rain, or this snow is so wet. I'm in the high tunnel now and it's currently just below 40 degrees in here. Everything's looking okay. I may have seeded that calendula a little thickly. The lettuce is looking good. Cabbage is looking good. Still not sure what's going to happen with the quinoa because it was really leggy, but I don't know. It's growing. It's doing something. We've even got tomatoes up over there. Nothing yet in any of the pepper cells. I don't really know what I'm expecting from the pepper cells. That one was just kind of an experiment. But yeah, stuff's growing in here. Nice big cabbage plant. This one was started inside and then it was brought out here. It looks like after the next couple days we might be out of the clear for the season, but this next weekend coming up is actually going to be in the 60s and 70s with the lows in the 50s and 60s. So after this, crossing our fingers, we are out of the clear. We can actually expect no more snow for the season. But I think the rest of the day is going to be spent inside doing something warm. So what I need to do now actually is go through and water all of the seedlings. These have just been planted not too long ago, sometime last week. In here, I've got blue mini corn planted. So that's what's planted in a lot of them. These are just an ornamental corn that's used for decorating around the fall. So also in here, I've got Fort Portal jade bean, which, let's grab these, which are these. And these are something that want to be planted outside, but I have horrible pest pressure here, so I wanted to at least get some started inside. That way I maybe have a little more success, or it's kind of just a trial run to see whether they grow better inside or outside, because I never really have much luck with things coming up if I direct seed them outside. I've got a lot of Fort Portal jade beans, and then I also planted some sunflowers in here. Again, for the same reason, those totally could be planted outside, direct seeded. I planted a whole bunch of sunflowers and I got one plant. Another one came up, but it got decimated by a rabbit eating it. So I wanted to just go ahead and plant some inside so I at least have some to plant out, because I figure if I transplant them, they at least are a size that they can potentially fend for themselves a little bit more. So I planted some of the moon shadow sunflower, and then I've got, these are Velvet Queen. I had one Velvet Queen come up last year. This was the only one that I got to grow. And then I also just planted some of this. This also has Velvet Queen in it, but this is just like a variety of several different types. In this variety pack, there's Lemon Queen, Autumn Beauty, Velvet Queen. So yeah, I think three different varieties. So we'll see how these grow from transplants this year. And here are the plants that, minus this one, here are the plants that I've been growing since, I think we planted these in January. We've got a Piccolino basil here that's looking so full and beautiful. This had two other piccolino basils in along with it, and I separated them not too long ago. We've got 2 of these orange hat tomatoes that are just loaded with tomatoes. You can see there's a ton of little tomatoes here. More little tomatoes, some big tomatoes. So that'll be really exciting to try these out. So I'm not sure if this is something that I'm doing wrong or this is just like the growth habit of the plant, but I noticed that every single one of these purple ruffles basil that I have planted tend to grow really tall first before they ever get like their first set of branching. And I even, I don't know if you can see this, I even pinched it off right there to promote more bushy growth. But even still, like there are long sections of stems between the leaf sections. So I don't know if I was just doing something wrong or if I should have planted more together. Because this is an amethyst basil. It's not the same variety as this one, but this is an amethyst basil that I bought from a local nursery, and I can see that there are a ton of different plants in here. And so maybe to keep them, I don't know, growing more densely like this, you just need more seeds. I don't know. But I think I'll probably plant some more basil and try this method with planting a bunch of the seeds close together. Because I noticed that works better with English thyme as well. The thyme just looked a lot bushier and nicer when you planted a bunch of them close together. I noticed that they all have such incredible varying degrees of how much purple they actually have on them. Like this guy has almost no purple at all. And then this one has a good mixture of green and purple. But then this one that I have of the same variety is completely purple with like hardly any green at all on it. And they are all 3 of these are the same variety. They're all purple ruffles basil, but they vary widely in appearance. And then we have our sage plant here. It's looking good. I try to stay on top of topping this one off too and clipping it off to encourage all of this really nice bushy growth down at the bottom. So for tiny plants or plants that haven't yet sprouted, I do strictly water with a spray bottle. But then for the bigger plants, you know, plants like this, I water with my little watering can that I have here. So I'm gonna get these watered. There's a lot of peppers, a lot of tomatoes growing on here that are all looking really fantastic. We've got some flamingo feather celosia here, a lot more tomatoes. We have bunny tail grass here that's doing really well. More herbs scattered throughout. We've got parsley that's looking really, really well. Got sage, piccolino basil. This was one of the basils that was potted up with the other one in the terracotta pot that I took out. And then more eggplant, basil back there, more peppers here. And kind of what's going on with this rack here is I've kind of tried to keep a system of this top shelf is all for sale. All of them are for sale. And then this tray here is for sale. And then these are for my garden. Those are mixed. Some of them are for my garden. Some of them they just haven't been potted up yet, or they've just been planted. And then all of this right here is for my garden. So we've got some peppers, and we've got a lot of lobelia. This is just a tray that some chicken came in, you know, like the rotisserie chickens from the deli section at the grocery store, and I planted up I potted up all of my lobelia. Some of them got potted up into separate trays. The smaller ones back here, I actually took like a big clump like this and I separated it into 4 sections, and then I planted just a ton of it in here. I'll separate them at the time that I'm going to plant them in whatever application I'm going to be doing. At this point, all of the seed starting that I'm doing right now is just because I want to, not because they need to be started inside or anything like that. I'm just potting up things that I want to get a little bit of a head start on. Even with the corn, all of the corn that I am seeding inside does not need to be seeded inside. It's almost actually time to just direct sow them outside. A lot of these varieties want to be direct sown outside like 2 weeks prior to your last average frost date, which we are right at that, and it's snowing today. And they'll just sit in the ground and wait until they feel like it's the proper temperatures to grow. But like I said, because of pest pressure, I am having some transplant ready so I can just pop them outside when the weather is nice, and I know that they already have a little bit more of a fighting chance. And other than that, I've been fertilizing. I try to fertilize about once a week, but it doesn't always happen, or I don't keep track of it in any particular way. I just kind of fertilize them when they look like they need a little bit of fertilizer, when they're looking a little bit stressed out or what have you. So the one thing that I have been dealing with, everything inside has gone really smoothly. I've been dealing with those fungus gnats. I have the yellow sticky strips in. They do an okay job, but I still find quite a few fungus gnats floating around. But the only thing that I've been dealing with other than that is on a bunch of the tomatoes, I found this like burning thing. I wasn't sure what the issue was. So I went to Facebook, I went to Google trying to find it out, and I think they just got burned. I think that the grow lights ended up being a little bit too close to them, and some of the leaves got burnt. So I snipped those leaves off just in case they were like a fungal issue or something, and they seem to be doing okay. I put them all in the same tray just in case it was a fungal issue. I consolidated them all so I knew which ones were actually affected with the issue, and so I can monitor those. And they've been doing great since I've moved the grow lights up, and that's really the only problem that I've had, at least for the inside ones. The outside ones, I have no idea what I'm doing with that. That's been a trial and error. The onion plants that were started inside and then moved out, I don't know, they've been turning very yellow out there. I don't know if they're getting too much sun, they've gotten too hot, because on sunny days that high tunnel, if I don't get out and open it soon enough, it can turn like 90 degrees in there in the blink of an eye. So I don't know if that's just stress from the fluctuation in temperature or whatnot. But other than that, I am really, really happy with how seed starting has been going this year. We just got to get through these last 2-3 weeks, home stretch, and then we are back to the garden season. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope you all are having a successful seed starting season, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.